down the track, boy.
The saga of Ja Rule is a roller coaster ride of peaks and valleys. From being picked on as a kid in school to being respected as a famous rapper, only to be picked on yet again in a manner of speaking. Ja rose to the top of the rap industry in a time where record sales were at an all-time high, and later came crashing down in legendary fashion. But what exactly caused this catastrophic downfall? Trust me, the story is much more intricate than you might have originally thought. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and this is Life After Rap, the rise and fall of Ja Rule. But before we get started, please take a second to smash that like button for me. Liking and sharing the videos is the best way to help smaller channels like ours continue to grow. But with that being said, let's jump right in. Born Jeffrey Atkins in 1976, Queens, New York, Ja was raised by both his grandparents and his mother. His Jehovah's Witness grandparents always did their best to keep the young Jeffrey on track as a youth. Ja attended public school where he was often picked on for being on the smaller side. He learned early that growing up in the hood, you couldn't be afraid to stick up for yourself, no matter what the situation. And in 1990, he finally started writing music. When he was in high school, he got the nickname Ja Rule, and it just kind of stuck with him throughout life. After years of writing and working on his lyrics, Ja started a rap group by the name of Cash Money Click. But throughout 1994 and 95, he worked with his friends, releasing their first singles as a group. The songs got decent attention locally, but as groups tend to go though, they would later break up after one of the members got sentenced to 5 years in jail. Ja continued grinding, knowing that he was this close to breaking through. Finally, in 1998, he managed to land a solo contract with Def Jam Records through his friend Irv Gotti. Ja got the Def Jam at the perfect time. They were in the middle of their peak. Ja wound up getting featured on Jay-Z's Can I Get a Song, which went on to be a classic, gaining all parties involved huge notoriety. In '99, Ja released his debut album, Beanie Vici, to instant success, climbing the Billboard 200 to the number 3 spot. By the end of '99, Beanie Vici had gone platinum. Wanting to follow up on the momentum, Ja released his second album, Rule 336, in 2000. Also in 2000, Ja Rule landed his first movie role in the film Turn It Up. This would be the height of Ja's earning potential. He was in high demand all throughout the industry. His label home, Murder Inc., was a powerhouse at the time. They dominated the charts in the rap, R&B, and pop segments. In 2001, Ja released his third album, Pain Is Love, and featured in The Fast and the Furious, a bag that he would later fumble. But slow down, we'll get to that soon enough. Pain Is Love was Ja's most successful album ever, with 3 of the songs becoming top 10 hits. The early 2000s were ruled by Ja Rule and Murder Inc. You couldn't turn on the radio or watch a video show and not hear one of their songs. However, trouble was brewing for Ja and his entire Murder Inc. family. An old beef stemming from 1999 seemed to just linger on and refuse to go away. You see, back in '99, Ja was shooting a music video where he wound up getting robbed for his chain by what would later turn out to be one of 50 Cent's partners. This is where the story gets kind of murky. Depending on whose side you're listening to, 50 says that Ja later ran into himself and the assailant at the club and tossed shade 50's way due to his association with the stick-up man. But Ja Rule denies ever even seeing them both anywhere together, and instead says that the beef started because 50 felt snubbed by Murder Inc. during a music video that they were shooting for Murder for Life. 1999 saw 50 Cent's first diss song aimed at Ja Rule and team titled Life on the Line. 50 at the time was struggling to gain attention in the rap game. He had gotten smaller deals before, but they never really panned out. He even recorded a full album only to have it shelved. In fact, the Life on the Line song was actually from said shelved album. 50 was throwing everything at the wall trying to get something to stick. And it turns out that a Ja Rule beef would be just what the doctor ordered. In 2000, both rappers were booked at the same club, which ended up in a first verbal, then physical altercation. The musical and IRL run-ins continued throughout 2000. Both guys originated from Queens, so they would often run into each other while out and about, and whenever they did, A fight would often ensue, one of which resulted in 50 being stabbed by fellow Murder Inc. label mate Black Child. All throughout Ja Rule's ascension to fame, 50 Cent launched verbal nukes his way, which until that time Ja had attempted to dodge. But in 2002, 50 dropped the mother of all bombs in the form of his hit single Wanksta. From there, Ja Rule could no longer ignore what was coming his way. In 2003, Ja released Blood in My Eyes, which many thought was directed towards 50 Cent and his entire Aftermath family. Over the next 2 years, the camps exchanged diss tracks, but one thing was for certain. Only one participant was releasing rememberable songs. Tracks like Back Down, Hail Mary, and I Smell Pussy are rap's classics. And Ja Rule, well, he was releasing songs in response, but none of them really seemed to have the cultural cachet as the stuff that 50 was releasing. The writing was pretty much on the wall. It was clear who was coming out with the upper hand in the exchange, and Ja Rule's music credibility took a massive hit as a result. Not to mention, in 2003, the Murder Inc. offices were raided by the feds, beginning a 2-year-long case against Chris and Irv Gotti, the heads of Ja's record label. Basically, they had to prove that their successful multi-million-dollar record label was not a money laundering operation for Kenneth Supreme McGriff. Ja Rule was being attacked from all angles. 50 Cent had been sending lyrical barrages his way for years, and now his old heads were embroiled in illegal troubles that prevented them from properly striking back, even if he had the heart to even do so. With Murder Inc. going through it legally, Ja decided to seek opportunities elsewhere. He tried to start his own indie label in 2009 under the name of Empire Music Group. Empire with an M, as in M-P-I-R-E. So, yeah. With Empire, he released Pain Is Love Too, which severely underperformed. In this time, 50 Cent went on to become the biggest thing in rap for a number of years. And being the petty a-hole that 50 can sometimes be, he continued to beat the dead horse. Ja, on the other hand, would continue to struggle. He released 2 more albums to middling success, including 2005's Exodus, which peaked at number 107 on the Billboard 200. In 2011, he would plead guilty to tax evasions and gun charges stemming back to 2009. He wound up doing close to 2 years in protective custody for his infractions. Ja would be released on May 7th of 2013 and got out looking to get back on his feet. Seeing that his music career had hit the skids, Ja decided to look for other ways to diversify his portfolio, which ultimately led him to meeting Billy McFarland in 2015. Their first endeavor together saw Ja assume the role of creative head and spokesman for Manganese, a credit card service that set out to become an exclusive black card with special perks and VIP access for millennials. The service cost $250 annually. Members, though, said that their promised rewards never came in, or they were canceled the day before they were scheduled, which kind of seems like a bad sign if you ask me, but apparently not to Ja Rule. Later in 2017, Billy offered to partner with Ja to create what they were calling the Fire Festival. Billed as a premier festival with performances from industry titans and creating an all-encompassing experience. As we all know from the Netflix and Hulu documentary, this didn't go off as planned. No, that's actually putting it a bit too lightly. It would be more accurate to say it was a full-on shit show. Without rehashing the whole story, I mean, hey, you can go back and watch the 2 documentaries if you want more info, but it really was pretty crazy. Everyone who had paid, understandably, were pretty pissed and wanted someone's hide for the hellacious experience that they had been forced to endure. Ja managed to weasel his way out of legal ramifications by playing dumb, essentially. His story was that he was nothing more than a celebrity used to bring attention to the endeavor, and he had no idea what Billy was doing behind the scenes. Ultimately, the courts were unable to prove that the post that Ja put on his pages from the event directly caused people to buy tickets. So luckily for him, because the class action lawsuit was for like $100 million. The life of Ja Rule has been a turbulent one. He rose to the top of the music business only to fall victim to bullying, much like when he was a younger kid. He landed roles in movies like Fast and the Furious 1, only to turn down the sequel due to low pay. Ever wonder why they casted Ludacris in Part 2 rather than Ja?
So I got a question really quickly. Why did you turn down Fast and Furious, man? Why?
Okay, that's a great question, because everybody likes to Monday morning quarterback the situation, but here's the actual situation. So I was asked to do the movie, the second one, and have a bigger role in the movie. Vin Diesel wasn't coming back to the movie, nor was Rob Cohen. Was being told, listen, the movie's not going to be what the first one was, whatever. So I made other arrangements.
He went on record in 2024 claiming to have signed a new deal worth $100 million, to which many people just kind of clowned him for. Because what label in their right mind would sign Ja Rule to a $100 million deal in this day and age? Worth an estimated $6 million today, Ja Rule is definitely not doing as bad as some of the rappers that we've covered, but surely he could be worth way more than that had he never ran into some of the brick walls of his past. Namely, a brick wall named 50. At the end of the day, despite his name being mud in the rap community, a large part of his early success came from pop music, which means that he's still able to tour his classics for welcoming crowds. All things considered, I guess you could say that Ja Rule is not too bad off. But what do you think? Hit us in the comment section and let us know if you remember the rise and fall of Ja Rule. And if you made it this far, we can't thank you enough for sticking with us, and we hope that you hit the like button. Liking and sharing these videos is the only way to help us to continue to grow. We've done a lot of growth so far, and I thank you guys for the support. And if you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode, then hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell. That way you will be reminded whenever a new video drops. With that being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, peace.